Welcome to the big leagues. If you're watching this explainer, it means you've just been handed the keys to the highest level of leadership within your chapter. You are officially stepping entirely out of the ranks of individual contributors. The days of just managing your own tasks, those are over. You're now crossing the threshold straight into the realm of executive management. I want to personally welcome you to your new role. Today we're going through the ultimate training playbook to make absolutely sure you don't just survive your 6-month term, but that you absolutely thrive in it.
So I want you to take a second and really internalize that question. Are you ready to step into the C-suite? Because make no mistake, that is exactly what this is. As the Chief Hive Officer, you are stepping into the role of the Chief Executive Officer of the chapter. Your mindset has to fundamentally shift right now. This is no longer just about delivering your own speeches or managing a single meeting. The gravity of this position means you are now responsible for the total organizational health of your chapter.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today's executive briefing. 1. Welcome to the C-suite. 2. Your executive team. 3. The operational calendar. 4. KPIs and crisis management. And finally, number 5, the corporate bridge. Let's get right into it.
All right, Section 1, Welcome to the C-suite. So what does this actually mean? The Chief Hive Officer, the CHO, is literally the Chief Executive Officer of the chapter. You're the one providing the strategic vision, the administrative oversight, and honestly, you're the ultimate safety net for the whole team. To win here, you've got to make a huge mental shift. You are moving away from doing the work yourself to ensuring the work gets done through others. You're balancing financial stewardship with people development and stepping in to make sure the ship sails smoothly no matter the weather. It's a whole new ballgame.
Moving on to Section 2, your executive team. Think of this group as your board of directors. It's your inner circle. First, you've got your Hive Growth Manager. They are your strategic lead for all things branding, marketing, and expansion. Then, you have your Member Success Manager, who is basically your head of customer success and people operations. And rounding out the trio is your Learning and Development Manager, acting as your Chief Academic Officer to ensure meeting quality is top-notch. Your job as the CHO, you are the glue. You synchronize this powerhouse team. And remember, if one of them is ever unavailable, you are their absolute backup.
Section 3, the operational calendar rhythm.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how this exact schedule keeps the chapter humming along without you having to micromanage anyone. Weekly, you are explicitly not doing their jobs. You're simply doing a quick check-in for roadblocks and reviewing the agenda. Monthly, you step into governance mode, running the formal Hive officers meetings and reviewing that budget. Quarterly, you're zooming out for a midterm performance review and aligning with zonal leadership. And then, once every 6 months, you're handling officer elections, the formal handover, and dropping your term impact report. It's the perfect roadmap to keep you in the executive chair and totally out of the weeds.
Which brings us to Section 4, KPIs and crisis management.
As the CEO, your metrics are your true north. You aren't tracking individual member progress, you're looking at macro metrics to gauge real organizational health. Take on-time membership renewal, for example. That metric right there, it proves your chapter is actually retaining its base and ensuring financial continuity. Then there's budget utilization efficiency. You aren't just sitting on a pile of chapter funds in a bank account somewhere, you are actively and smartly converting those dollars into actual, tangible, member-centric value.
And here is the stark reality of this C-suite, the ultimate accountability. You are responsible for the successful achievement of KPIs by all other Hive officers. If the Learning and Development Manager's milestones fall behind, or the Growth Manager's conversions dry up, that is ultimately on your scorecard. You own the final result, plain and simple, because you are the final backstop for the chapter's reputation and financial integrity.
Because you are that final escalation point. Unpredictability will happen, and you've got to be ready to manage the crisis. Let's look at some what-ifs. An officer suddenly resigns, boom, you assume the role immediately as their backup and get succession going. Hitting a budget deficit, you freeze non-essential spending and launch an emergency membership drive. If 2 officers are clashing, you step in, facilitate private mediation, and refocus everyone on those North Star goals. And if you face the dreaded, broken meeting where multiple people are out, you take direct control and pivot straight into a Jam Talk special so your members still get absolute value. You are the safety net.
All right, last major piece, Section 5, the corporate bridge.
And this brilliantly illustrates why this 6-month term is essentially a high-value corporate internship. Managing your officers and liaisoning with zonal leadership, that translates directly to senior corporate governance. Managing that chapter budget, that prepares you for P&L, profit and loss responsibility in the business world. Stepping in as a backup during a broken meeting is pure crisis leadership and business continuity. And identifying your replacements? That is executive talent review and change management. Honestly, the financial stewardship and conflict resolution skills you build here, they are real game changers for your professional career and will totally transform how you manage your personal life too.
Just take a look at these core competencies: strategic visioning, executive oversight, financial stewardship, servant leadership. These are exactly the hard-hitting skills the corporate world is begging for right now. You're stepping way past standard technical skills and building the high-level executive agility needed to lead a complex team. It's the exact definition of what a division head or a corporate CEO does every single day.
As we start to wrap up this explainer, I want you to really anchor yourself to this core philosophy. Your legacy is defined by the systems you've built and the people you've empowered to follow in your footsteps. Your ultimate goal over these next 6 months isn't just to survive. It is to execute a totally flawless handover. In the corporate world, they call it a talent review. Here, it's about making absolutely sure your chapter is structurally stronger when you leave it than when you found it.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to chew on as you step into the C-suite. What kind of legacy will you leave behind as Chief Hive Officer? Are you going to be the leader who just checked the boxes, or the visionary who built unshakable systems and empowered the next wave of leaders? The clock on your 6-month term starts right now. You've got this. Go lead your chapter with confidence.